And not to mention like everything on the emission side.
Yeah.
So the Clean Air Act in the United States was in 1970, so it's quite a long time ago, but it's probably done quite a bit to clean up the air and certainly the fuel economy standards as well, sort of work hand in hand together. Those probably have, I mean, in the end, by making cars more fuel efficient, not only do you clean up the air, but you probably save people a ton of money, at
Oh
least
yeah.
in, what they have to spend from day to day. And that's all, again, you got to give credit to the government for sort of giving that little push to the car makers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it like anything, it's a controversial issue, but there are some things that they've done that are undoubtedly a good thing. Removing lead from petrol, from gas, that has been a good thing. That has reduced the amounts of the rates of asthma and breathing diseases in urban areas exponentially. Making a change like that, and yeah, making the air cleaner. I mean, people forget, people don't know because they either weren't around or haven't researched it or whatever, but in the US smog and stuff was a huge problem. Same here in the UK. I'm from a city called Sheffield originally, and that was the most polluted city in the world, not in Europe, not in the Western world, in the entire world in the 1960s. Those scenes that you see nowadays in places like China, that was Europe. That was in a lot of big cities in Europe because of the heavy industry there. And bringing these regulations in when it comes to emission standards, yeah, it makes the price that you pay at the petrol station, the gas station more, but it also effectively makes shows that the cars are going to be, more fuel efficient because otherwise the manufacturers never would have reduced the size of engines. I mean, you look at the big block V8s from back in the day, those 6, 7, 8 liter V8 engines. You couldn't have that now on a regular car. No one would be able to afford it because the road tax and the overall cost, and even if it somehow passes the emission test, it just make it impossible. So, some people out there might be annoyed at it, but you're breathing in air that's a lot cleaner now in general because of it.
I always remember watching this little video on YouTube during COVID, and this person was in India and within viewing sight of the Himalayas, but he'd never seen them until
Oh
COVID.
wow.
There were no cars on the street, and he woke up one morning and said, "Hey, look, there's mountains over there." Can you imagine if there weren't regulations like this? I know, like in Los Angeles, the smog used to be horrendous. I mean, it was
Mm.
known for smog. So in the end, it benefits do come. They don't come right away, but before they come and before these things can even be put in place, the car companies aren't going to just sit back and be pushed around, or as you say, George, micromanaged by the government. And they've got every excuse they can come up with. And technical, it's not feasible. Too hard to make. No way we could do that. Cost too much. You're going to lose jobs. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing, right? That kind of thing. And all this is really driven by profit in the end, right? They want to keep manufacturing costs down. They want to keep profit margins up, keep those sales up. And then there's also, like you said, the design freedom. And the Corvair is an example. They were putting aesthetics. Oh, let's make a cool rear wheel drive car in a world where there aren't any a rear engine car in a world at the time there weren't any cars like that were on the road. So aesthetics were over safety and then sometimes they'll even pull the thing is, oh, well, if you force us to do that, it'll put us at a disadvantage because they don't have those rules in Asian or European cars or whatever it might be. And this happened with seatbelts. It happened with it took, airbags were fought for decades and decades here in the States. And certainly the emission standards. When the emission standards first came out, there were claims that the automotive industry would be shut down. Shut down. So, hey, that's those are the excuses that are used. So these things don't happen overnight, right? You have to, are they legitimate or are they not? And there's probably some legitimacy to some of that, but for the most part, you know, so sometimes profit motive is not what's best for everyone.
No, it's usually just best for the people, the shareholders, the board members, all those kinds of people, the workers of those companies. Admittedly, that should kind of trickle down to them in form of bonuses and pay rises. In theory, of course.